April 10th, I happened to read an article in the Cranford Patch about the titled "The Mosquitoes Are Booming in Union County," and I decided to Oprah some of the information that was being disseminated by the what do they call it? The Office of Public Information, headed by D'Elia. And in that press release, quoting Mr. D'Elia, that several Union County residents have testified that mosquitoes are booming in Union County. All right, and then surveys are being done by the Bureau of Mosquito Control, and the officials say the adult mosquito population is already booming. I am quoting. This is what was in the Cranford Patch article. Well, I decided to Oprah it to find out what the testimony was. There's no testimony. There are a few disgruntled residents who are complaining about neighbors' pools that have been gone on unattended, some backyards that may have been overgrown and festering mosquitoes. Well, I Oprah'd all the work orders. I got approximately 20. Every one of the work orders came back, no mosquitoes found. All right, no survey done. I brought that to the attention of the Freeholder Board this evening, and it was very interesting how they managed to circle the wagons. They had the director of the Bureau of Mosquitoes there.
Never shows
up before.
Never shows up.
All of a sudden, he's there.
Yeah.
What the hell was he doing there?
He was there because I Oprah'd.
Because you Oprah.
And he had to defend Mr. D'Elia. Now, everybody got up to the mic, but Mr.
We're having fun
D'Elia.
with this. We should start Oprah and shit just to get people to show up.
Hey, there was a guy. Oh, go ahead.
But wait a minute. So
Let's do it. Every meeting, we'll try and trick them into who's going to show up.
All right, go ahead. Come on.
But it was interesting how they had to circle the wagons to put a spin on the information that I had requested that really was non-existent. They even at one point said that dengue fever was found existing in Union County. It was all fictitious, non-factual. I stopped short of using the word lie. All right, but it would have been interesting for Mr. D'Elia to get up at the mic and refute some of which he was claiming.
He doesn't do that.
Yeah, just as a point of fact, Ralph Strano, who got up to refute Mr. Bittner's claims, which was interesting, and you didn't bring this up. Ralph Strano, in the beginning of his speaking at the microphone, his commentary, he started saying, well, the newspapers misrepresented the press releases when they reprinted it. They used words that we didn't tell them to use the words, so they were taking leeway, with their wording. And he was then refuting Mr. Bittner's claims. Oddly enough, 500,000 people in the county. A mosquito bit one person, and it was the head of the mosquito. And he got bit by a mosquito, by God. Nobody even sees mosquitoes, but the head of the mosquito commission got bit. I mean, this guy, I don't know what's wrong with this guy, but anyway, but at the very end of his comments, after he was saying the newspapers were like, misrepresenting the words, at the very end he wrapped it up saying, and the newspapers give proper accounting and was an accurate assessment of what we did. And it was like somehow he completely reversed himself. It must have been that mosquito bite probably finally got to his head.
He's the same guy that was caught in Linden for putting out political
here's one. Yeah,
and he
Ralph
had
Strano,
out of his county vehicle.
Yeah, 4 years ago, Ralph Strano was caught. Some activist in Linden actually took a picture of him. He had a county car because he's a hack and he's a soldier and kisses Charlotte's butt. But anyway, so he...
None of which I said.
Yeah, right. But anyway, somebody took a picture of him in the county car with the trunk open, and there he is taking out the Freeholder campaign signs out of the county car.
Freeholder campaign.
Oh, it might have been a Linden councilman.
I don't know.
Whatever.
It
was political campaign signs being removed from the trunk and sticking it in the ground. People and whoever it was
It's something
took
if
pictures.
you worked for the federal government, you'd be
But-
fired.
Yeah.
But bottom line, I found it very interesting and amusing that by simply questioning the non-factual press release, after I did my homework, got the facts, it was completely fictitious, and that they needed to circle the wagon so much so that they had Freeholder Hudak
Oh, who the heck?
go on
Yeah, who the
about
heck?
the mosquito population being out of
I think
control.
there's too many of them.
And that
There's
he
too
had
much time on
actually
their hands.
wait, that
Somebody
he had actually
tweeted
seen
Hudak did better speak up.
that he had actually seen a moth on his by his light in the evening.
Well, how is that?
Are we
There's a
supposed
moth-
to be concerned? Now we have to start spraying for moths?
Are they mosquito larvae doesn't turn into moths?
No, no.
Caterpillars.
Hudak may think they do. I don't know.
I wasn't there
But
for
he
that
went
part.
on and gave us the 10 Commandments.
Oh, yeah, 10 Commandments of mosquito control.
Of
Yeah,
mosquito
I didn't write that.
control, yes.
Thank
And
God I threw myself out.
What
Yeah.
they didn't bring up was the fact that we are in a drought. And that
There is no water.
there is no water for all these mosquitoes to be breeding. And they just needed to refute my factual statements that their press release
Was false.
and completely non-factual.
See how important you are, Jim? They went through all that trouble
Yes,
just for
Just
that?
for you.
Just for me.
you.
Just
Okay.
for me.
I think they should 10% of whoever was involved with all that should get laid off because they have too much time on their hands and they're obviously not needed, including the freeholder. 10% of all of them off. And what is the stupid mosquito control anyway? It's mandated, I know, but
In the-
it's always
in the
a
summer-
political hat that has it. It's nobody with a scientific degree should be a scientific job.
I actually did ask
It's
that
always a
about-
political hat that
About
has
8 years ago, I actually asked about what is the mosquito, and it was like in the summer they go around to the ditches and they take water samples and they check for mosquito larvae, and I actually mentioned, I said, what do they do in the winter?
Winter time.
And actually, they did have an answer. And unfortunately, this is 8 years ago, and I can't
Stunning.
remember. But they actually do something in the winter. It's not like they have a part-time job. They actually do something in the winter. Unfortunately, I
I'm
don't
sure.
remember what it was.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the winter.
They do this. They butter crackers.
Yeah, but whatever. I can't even guess.
But actually, after the meeting, I brought it to Chairman Mirabella's attention that each of these work orders, and I have about 20 of them, they all came back, no mosquitoes found, no money spent on quite a number of them. But then there were a good 4 or 5 that there were expenses attached to for labor and materials, and they applied it towards a grant. Now, no one could understand why some work orders had, or could explain why some work orders have no money spent, other work orders had money spent, and who was paying for this work. So it was very curious that nobody knew the answers to simple questions.